I'm starting.
Right.
Botani bantwana basekhaya ndibuyile futhi nankusilindile wakwanufele umampinge mamelani apha ndiyanicela bethu ndicela ni-subscribe ni-comment ni-like ni-share cela ninikhuliseni. This is what I always say kubantu bami basekasi. Shout out to Swaneville, whoever who wanna come through, whether you wanna tell your story or you want to advertise something, anything, this is the platform. Akho nto ndiyifunayo kuni, into endiyenzayo apha ningabantu bami. Dizeleni and now I'm excited ukudala nimane ninibuza uba yo suspense is killing us. Kukho ke lo sisi lona ningazi uba nimthanda ntoni kodwa namhlanje I'm about to find out. Niyamthanda lo sisi lo upost into nge-1 minute sekana 1 million 100,000 billion trillions of likes, comments and sharing. Andifuna uthetha into ezininzi ngoba andanoba ndimphompa umnqwazi apha eminqwazini andanoba ndiqale ngapha ukumhonora, but she's here today, guys. I'm giving you her ubukho bakhe, and after this you are allowed to ask anything about her. If she's comfortable, she's gonna ask, she's gonna answer. Kodwa ke niyazi uba kuyokuthiweni xa kuthiwa sale umuntu xa ethulile ngaphendula it means consent. Cela simamkeleni bethuna uSiphokazi wakwaMbetha. And yes, all along ndandisithi ngumbethe, and umbethe it means
Yes.
Yes. It's that.
No.
Umbetha is in ubetha umuntu.
Yes.
Okay.
Umbethe is the eyes.
Okay. Yeah. Welcome, Daliwa. Finally, kunini mna nawe sipostpone sicancele ngenxa yoba ndiyayazi umuntu busy. Welcome, ndiyabulela umphi moment yakho. Ndicela uzazise ekhaya ngoba ungakwazi.
Thank you so much for having me here. Igama lami Siphokazi Mbetha.
Yes.
What else? I'm from Swaneville, so we know each other from there, and yeah.
No.
I'd also like to know why they like me today. I wish I could say more.
I
have nothing else to say.
If I was here in the men's out in the Siphokazi Mbetha, guys, in the business, left, right, and center. But I know she's a modest person, but I'm gonna break it down. I'll make sure that ndizawubuza zonke izinto mna enqwenela ukumbuza zona since nina kena nizawulandela emva kwam. Into yokuqala endirhalela uyazi ngawe, ukhulele phi?
Ndikhulele Swaneville. So yeah, I was born up at Joburg.
Okay.
And Kulile Apa is Swaneville. I grew up with my mom, my brother. My mom later got married to my stepfather, and then my stepfather had 2 kids.
Okay.
So we just grew up in that blended family.
Okay.
At some point, I remember, because the houses are very close to each other, my mom's house and my stepfather's house, we used to have the kids living in the one house and the badala in the other.
Yeah, so that means
they lived there. They lived there with a young brother of mine that got lost because that was the youngest, and all of us would live on the other house. But it was a very chilled childhood. I loved my stepfather, very disciplined. It was a very normal childhood.
What do you mean when you say your younger brother getting lost?
So I made a mistake by saying my stepdad came with 2 kids. It's actually 3.
Okay.
So the other one was young. I think when he got lost, it was like 7, 8.
Lost?
Yeah, it's one of him. And we just never found him.
Like Mauti lost 1 year, like Aigba Wapupa?
No, nothing like that.
Went missing, finished.
We never buried him.
When was that?
I don't know. I think 203. Yeah, I think 2003. I think even at 7, because he hadn't gone to grade 1 then, so I'd like to, but very oldish for crash. I think it made but yeah, I think it was 7.
And definitely, like it was Swaneville.
Yeah. So that happened. It was just a very busy Saturday, but 21st. So we thought Mtanukwe was pity because it's just busy, and we just never found him until. So, and I was young myself, so growing up, there's my half sister and my half brother, Abavela, my stepdad, and there's me and my older brother. So, Singabo Bantana before then, growing up, but I do remember there was another child.
And you grew up in because how you speak, stepdad's like,
man, I love him. I loved him. I really. I don't have any complaints. Yeah, I don't have any. I was blessed for my mom to have someone that really saw me as their child. And it was just that. He was very,
you know, every time when I think about you, it's so crazy. That is why I asked you off scene ukuthi udlala netball ne. I remember kunexesha sasizoncedisa u-invigilator eludirile nisasebenza entokozweni. And I remember there was a time sasimiswe phambili and you were there and you were like amehlo akho oko xa ndicinga even today, like I see your eyes. You are you that person othanda the eye contact?
Funny not, maybe now growing up, it really makes me uncomfortable if you like sort of stare at me for too long. I do want you to look at me because you're recognizing my presence, but I don't think I can stand for it too long. But also go cooler and just, I don't know, go cooler. But I think as a kid, I remember being someone that also because maybe there was just, you know, as a kid you'll see something like, I want to be like her when I grow up, and you're just gonna stare at that person and have a picture of them.
That's what I
remember. And if anyone
learns
something out of like the ordinary, I want to be that person.
What do you think? I know this, I'm the one who's interviewing you. When you think of me, what's the first thing you think of?
Firstly, there's a memory that comes to mind. I think as a teen, being in high school, I remember meeting you in one of the rooms I think used to stay at Block 8, not Tandy, and I remember just meeting you there and seeing this lady that is just very beautiful, because even then you would, like, your room was very fully furnished. You were dressed nice. I remember you had brown Timberlands.
Yes, as a heel.
You had as a heel.
Yes.
You were really just that girl. And I remember that time you kept on saying how you are going to be out of Sunnyville.
Ayo!
Yeah, because like we really spent the time. You kept on, I'm going to be out of here. Like, I'm really going to be out of here. And fast forward to now, I'm like, yo, she did it. She did it. But yeah, it was that. But you've just always been a very kind person. I'm a person that really likes. I advocate for women. So if anything, I really just want to love a woman. So I like hanging around women.
Yes. Yeah. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. You strike me as someone who always empower other people, women or not, but your first priority obviously always women. And then there was a time, 100 million of girls who likes going out, taking trips, stories when and pajama parties and all that. Tell me about that.
To be honest, like I said, I really like being around the company of women. Contrary to what people say, and I'm not even saying that doesn't happen, but at some point you have to look past that. To be honest, if you are really around genuine women, you will, everything, any creator together will multiply, will turn to gold. Like, I mean, the Bible even says it so. Like, if a woman will turn a house into a home for you. Like, we just have that. And I really believe that combined with our strengths and all of that, we really can build a queendom. Obviously there's corners on top, but I don't know, I'm just willing to always give 100th chance to a woman. And
then when do you say now, yo, Slindile did this? Do you because I can give you a million chances, but when I'm done. Like let's a slide show some that shows me so when do you say now?
Even me, I'll cut you off. I've had friendship breaks up, but I think there's just one thing I'm learning as I grow, and I think it's also just the result of my prayers. I don't want to stay mad at anyone for too long. So it's okay for me to be mad about it for the year, for me to want people to understand me in whatever that happened between the two of us, but eventually I want to forgive you, and I'm intentional about forgiving you, and I'm also intentional about showing you if it does happen that we are in the same space years later, I want you to know that we're good. We will never be as close, but we're good, and I am really just honestly rooting for you. My friends that I broke up with, we talk, we're in speaking terms, we laugh, and we haven't gotten a chance, or maybe it's not going to happen, but hear what really happened. Because again, one thing I noticed is that I don't really talk a lot.
You don't.
I don't, but also I live my life very intentional. You know what I believe in, you know, like, and I like it, and my friends do it a lot. If in my absence, I want you to be say, because that's it. You must know. And when you're outside of your home, to hold you accountable for those things. At least when you step outside of your home's gate, let it be your circle of friends. Be accountable to us. We can't just be living J. You know, you need someone. I'm that friend. I will call you out. You will hate me, but I think you will later understand that it's because I really, really love you. I really care. So I do that we separate and they don't know where I stand. It'd rather be effective, but we have got a difference in opinions, but you will know where I stand, because even every day of our friendship, you know what I stand for, and I will say it. Even if everyone else says no, in the irrational, I'm that person. My friends even called me umakazi. I'm the youngest, but umakazi. Yeah, someone has got to hold you accountable, and you can't just in the absence of your parents or when now you are this person that they don't know, like yes, it's a less lot stricture, but there's just some things that I can't let you do as a girl. Yeah, because of now you have this thing about and I think it's a standard of mine that I set in our friendships, because I want you to hold on also to me, hold me accountable. Yeah, because me saying that doesn't mean that I won't act against it. But I want you to say, it's posh, you said, you can't be the one. So I'm intentional about that. Yes. And it goes for a lot of things, even our work ethic, doing things. Now I will inspire you till you get tired of me. No, but yes. I think if I see I'm that person. I'm that person because I really just want everyone around me to be busy, because but I need someone that is going to be like, but you said we are doing this, you said we are securing the bag, and you help me step up to my higher self. So you can't be like, nah. No.
How has it been ukhulila eSwaneville in general? Because now they always say, I am a cheras eSwaneville this, I'm a cheras eSwaneville that. They always, it's so rarely to hear people saying positive things about us, Tina Madomazana eSwaneville.
And understandably so, to be honest. I think there's just I won't even say a generation before us, but like there just has been a trend of, and this is not even girls, like everyone. Snacks. You'll see that even if you meet like people from Kagiso, their worst nightmare is coming in Swaneville. What do you mean? This is literally the next area after ANU, and you haven't been, or you don't even want to go because of the things you've had. And I understand it, because Saz is a Kelly Kameli, and it really might take a lot for us, but I see we are well on our way. We are one of those small areas that has a lot of graduates. I'm there for it, you know. I'm there, and whether someone from outside wants to recognize it now or not, but like graduates, and I think that is just us in our journey of trying to turn things around. But and I think another thing is that you don't really see the dangers other people say. Like if people I'm like, guys. But also you can't act like this is not happening. It's probably happening and it's someone's reality, but and I do see the things that are happening, gangsterism, and all of that. But I think you're cool. And honestly, if you are to assess this one, we are transforming. But we are transforming.
Do you think we are playing a role as well to delay growth within us? Do you think we be two-faced? Do you think that we're not willing to help each other? Like how Indians, and I want to make an example of my India, because of you let's say you're a fisherman, I'm hungry. Indians, what they will do, they will feed you today, but tomorrow they take you, then
I
give you a
get
rod
you.
and say,
I get
this is
you.
how you fish. Do you think thina sinaleyo nto leyo uba I like it uSiphokazi ba undibiza ngesister
Yeah.
sister lami yabona ndithanda nje uba uyanditatazelela and then ndimnikeza ama breadcrumbs.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, we do self-sabotage, and in ways maybe that wouldn't be known to me.
Yes.
We as in those that you sabotage yourself. You know what you can be good at, but you are just not showing up for yourself.
Yeah.
And on a larger scale, though, yes, I don't think it's intentional.
Yeah.
I think ungazi kangcono, because that's one thing that happened for me. I think going to university, staying at res, and meeting people really enables you to have a different perspective about things and possibilities of things. Because as a girl, there wasn't really much I can point to say, I want to be like this person.
Yes.
I want to be like this person because of this and this and this, you know. But you then get to see other people from other areas that are just, when I got to res, this person was my senior and now I'm on IG and this person is an executive of, and you're like, I know this person, then this can happen.
Yes.
I think for me that was just an eye-opener of how there's just life out of Swaneville. How there's just life outside of the things that we've normalized in Swaneville.
Yes.
And I just wanted, and I grabbed that, honestly speaking. I took what I can take, and I was hoping I'll just go back home and it radiates and hopefully everyone gets a piece of it. And I think that's the thing for me, even as a scholar. That's why I'm such an advocate of school, because I'm just like, if you haven't really seen me or aundazi ekulengwam, I don't even have to say much to you. I just gotta show you. But do you see? I literally have no other backup. I had no amafa or anything like that. No business that is waiting for me to take over. This was legit iskolo. And if we start seeing iskolo as umpando, because people kulma umpando, iskolo is never part of that.
Yes.
But to me, umpando is your hustle, and I wish that really meant like an honest hustle. I have to say that, which is not what it means now.
Yeah,
but like else. Honestly, I see iskolo as umpando, and me being in the space, I see the many ways that I can secure the bag outside of what is just primarily what I do, but kukwe options as needs. And it's what I'm trying to take back. And you do go back and you see, I see people are not, the generation now is not really taking a scholar that serious. And I really appreciate it. But you get a lot of Amatuke that say you inspire me, but sometimes just that I can't drive that conversation further. But I want to ask, why do you say that? Do you say that because for someone else it can mean I like how you dress, but do you know the funds that help me dress like this? I like because you have, but do you know where the money comes from? And I think for me, I want you to know where it comes from. It's easy to see a lot of people that have all the flashy things and people are going to Dubai. I don't want that. Yeah. I want to know your how. How do you make the money? Mm. And I've realized, but the kids haven't really grown. It's about what they see. But like, the forefront is very flashy, is very nice, but I want to know what's your midnight grind, like what do you do, what's your routine? And I think that's the thing that inspires me. So even the people I look up to is because I know how you make all this thing look flashy, the work, the behind the scene. And if anyone says I inspire them, I hope it's because you are inspired by my work ethic.
And now you're doing
my
something about it.
Yes, my discipline. I don't just like the things you see. How do I make them? Because once you understand how I make them, I think you can just wake up and decide to do exactly as I do.
Have you, because, Dena sebenza entokozweni, I worked in entokozweni for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, for 6 years.
Yeah.
Akunandawo iyandihambula njengaleya. I've seen it all. In a sense of appreciate that one slice of bread because of there's someone out there ongenayo like that. And I remember on my teen stages that benifunda junior and I had to walk out esikolweni walk out buya knowing ba bungakeranga awuna lunch and uzophinde futhi ubuye ungekho ukutya thina sasichotha izihlangu ke ekhaya and then sisifake esitovini samalahla ukuze sipheke yazazi izihlangu zinuka kanjani into odlula yathi oh yini lenu you know, and that embarrassed me because of being a teenager at that time and sembona bafana. Was it a moment in your life where you felt like, I don't deserve this? Is it you knowing that you had to empower yourself? It was rooted somewhere where you like, I'm not signed for this life. I'm not signed up for this life.
Honestly not. I think I had a very, no, let me not say miserable childhood, because, but like outside of home, I really was not a happy child. I was not a happy child. I remember as a kid, I felt insecure about everything in me. No part of me was beautiful. I had a big nose than anyone else. I had amabela makulu quicker than everyone else, and I'd be deemed as you're older. And whereas I just wanted to be like the other kids. I was built like a guy. Even now, I think that's what like inspired this style. Some growing up, and I'm comfortable like that now. I want to be covered. Like I really just want to be covered. I don't want attention. I don't want, but like I was insecure. Like if anything about my teenage life, I never had the main sport. I never had the. Yeah, I'd literally be the kid that shines when it comes to academic. That's one thing I've been considered on. If you know my name, it's because of my schooling records and stuff.
This is the second time you said this, because I remember the time you said this.
Yeah, I have nothing else that I can tell you about besides that. And I'm also me. I have a very, my mother is very strict. So I think there was just no time for me to even come back home and be like, oh, but I don't think I'm pretty. I don't think I'm that. I don't think I'm that. There was no time for that. Like all you had to see again from my mother. My mother is a hard worker up to this age. She's a pensioner that works. Like my mother is disciplined, and that's just the thing, Ekaya. So I think that and understanding that I call chance you by anything else besides a person that ends an honest living. I had there was nothing else, to be quite honest. You wouldn't talk about me about anything else. It's either you're gonna talk that girl that plays netball so good, I'm that girl, or the top learner of what I'm that girl, and throughout has been that. I
remember I said Upumla Paswana.
Love her so much.
Did you go? Yeah. Stronger diakotol. Did you? Fuck, I have chills. Did you Pumla so interviews? Because that's what a lovely soul. Did yo ndiyamonqena athi listen, simple person. Can you believe that ndicela i-listeners that's when unibhalele nje into guy athi that's her. Athi lalela athi please ungalibali umcela lentuzana yakhe ku YouTube, because I know she vlogs, but ndilibele by not, but we're gonna go into that. Now let's talk about Shiro. What inspired Shiro? When did it start? What was the purpose of it and all that? Where is it now?
Very funny. Shiro is that, that just one thing that keeps haunting you. I remember when I thought about Shiro, I was just in between jobs. Like, I think my contract had just ended with the municipality, and I just gotten some very low-paying job that someone referred me to. Yes. And so basically, most of my days I was just doing my wig business. So one thing I like doing my me time is doing wigs, because wig making takes time. And that's when I'll plug my sermon, and like that's my me time. Like that is really my me time. That's why, because that takes time, I don't even like being around people, because I come to Zoglinda for you to make a wig for 2 hours or so. So I remember during that time or that era, I used to have this, I don't know about Ndichi, it's an imagination or a visual of me being in front of people. Right? And I think there, my dream of being a lecturer, the seed was there. But then I thought it was because of I want to pursue lecturing. Right? And I think then I was already doing my master's. I'd started with my master's. So it was getting to know that actually after this qualification, I can qualify to be a lecturer. So I don't know if I was thinking about, it was a dream of mine a lot that I'd started daydreaming about it, but it was there. So also, I'm a person that really likes journaling. I would write that I just keep seeing myself in front of people, but I don't know why. And then this random day, I think talking with it's very different events, but now sitting about it, I think this was meant to happen. Because I'd also just shared this with my friends when we're having our own chill time. But I want to do a conference, but also with this conference that I'm doing, I was intentional that it was for amantombazana selection.
Yes.
I never aspired to have anyone else driving from fancy places to come. If that happens, I appreciate you, but they were never my target. And I think also that's the thing about me. I am passionate ngekasi because I really just want to see everyone seeing themselves outside of Biswaneville. Yes. So that's why even my business, I cater to those people. Yes. Like, I want to cater to them. Yes. Like, there's already everything for everyone that's fancy and living a lavish life. But yeah, so I started writing about this thing that I'm seeing myself hosting or just being in front of the crowd, but I don't know if it speaks to my desires as a career of being a lecturer but also there's just this thing, there's a need for me to talk to people, but also I don't think I'm wise enough for that. Yeah. So I'm just like, maybe call people to because I'm someone that really likes conversations, and a lot of time I've been inspired, it was through talking to someone. So I'd always wanted to take that conversation to someone else. Yes. So my friends would be the first people, but I spoke to someone and they said this. Yes. And I'm hoping it's gonna blow you just as much. Yes. And so there was a need for that. I'd speak about that with my friends that I wanna do this. And this one day I just took my phone during a wig making session. I went outside the kaya and I called this brother of mine called Jeremiah, and I said, you know what, I want to do this, but I don't know where to start. And that call, I think, took an hour of just me describing how I'm seeing this thing. Yes. I'm someone that likes color, so I'm seeing this thing themed. I'm seeing girls. I want to invite all the ladies that speak to areas. Yes. Who are our seniors. I wish they'd come and speak. So I knew I wanted to have speakers. And I also knew I don't have a budget for this, so it would make sense for me to sell tickets, but make it this very lavish thing. Yes. And I think that time, it was the coming of women empowerment things. Yes, and I was like, I want to do this, and I want to extend this also to girls, but girls can't pay for this, so maybe I should go to them as Kolwin. Yes. That hasn't happened, but it's still something I want to do, like travel around schools, Eka Slam first before anything else. But yeah, it hasn't been easy to do. Instead, I'm just getting outside invites. And I'm like, I wish I was doing this with people that know me, that know where I stay, that know I'm just like you. Like I in the Funde Apa, and I went to Iludil. Yes. If I speak about Ludil, I want to speak about a school that you know. And resonate, for you to understand that there isn't any added opportunity to me. That means you really can be what I am now and even more. Yes. You just have to be disciplined and actually do things. So Shiro was just something I thought about for too long before I could name it. Shiro, I struggled even with the name, but I knew I wanted to do this. And I knew I don't want to be in the spotlight of that. Like, even my events where I don't talk. I don't have a segment that I talk. I probably welcome people and I'll thank them. And someone had said, but you know that we pay there to hear you talk. Yes. And I'm like, really?
And it's so crazy because I never had a chance when Sandukala and it made me travel through ama provinces. Yeah. So every time, like I'm not around, I've never experienced it. I was still gonna proceed with it.
Yeah, definitely. I can't let that die. Like, I really can't let it. It's just that now, again, my problem is that, like I told you, I like accommodating for low class, middle class income earners, if I may put it like that. So now things have become really expensive. Yes. Venues, the food, like even the ticket bundle charge has become very less for the things I want to give you, because I want you to get a 3-course meal and I want you to get a goodie bag at the end of the day, and I want you to come to this very, very aesthetically pleasing place. And 250 is no longer making that possible. So what then I'm struggling with now is that now I'm seeing, even from everyone around me, Instagram, for you to do such an event, the ticket has to be 500. But then I think about the people I wanted to do this for. Am I still meeting them? Is it still possible for an ordinary girl, Waseka Slamo Sevens and Mr. Price Jet, to be able to come to this event?
It is.
So yeah, I think about it a lot, and I just don't want to seem like I'm making it for money more than anything else. So that has been that. And also the support was very great, that we started outgrowing the places we started in. It doesn't make sense now to go to those places because In Embassy, we're 100 now.
Yeah.
And I need to find a place.
Yes.
That's my other struggle. So it's just the budget, and am I still being for the people I intended this to be for, and where can we go? So recently I've just thought, you know what? Maybe now comes a time where we have to limit the tickets to like 50, and it will be a grab them while they're still hot, so that I can still play around West End, because again, I don't want people to travel far outside of.
Yes.
That's why I'd wanted to use Indauze to that around West End, but it's definitely coming. I've been thinking about it a lot.
Please,
lately.
ma'am, you know what? But now what
about
I can tell you is, akekho umuntu ongayazi uba yonke into inyukile. I mean, see, izinto ziyadura and all that. And I think if you announce it 3 months prior, definitely, maybe we uyenza 4 times in a year. You do it quarterly. It would work.
Initially that was a plan, but it also, I think I'd underestimated hosting. It's really a lot.
It is.
It's a lot, but I'm still on it, really.
And you're a perfectionist.
I really
want everything to be 100.
I really haven't been motivated, but like that's something I won't let.
Can I motivate you now? I've never been there. Can I please?
I'm definitely gonna. I've promised people the year can't end without me having done it again. It really can't. So I'm thinking a lot about it. So it's coming.
Have you ever seen yourself as a leader? Like, njengoba ungumuntu one-confidence and all that, and you believe when I've turned the spotlight, but do you understand the energy yakho kwabanye abantu? Have you acknowledged and have you accepted?
That's one thing I'm struggling about. Someone texted me just after my grade, I think on Tuesday, and said, in the morning, I've been going through your posts and everything on Facebook, and I'm wondering if you realize how influential you are. I'm like, I can't deny it. I'm seeing the numbers, I'm seeing the intent, I'm seeing the love. Like, it's too much. But I keep it, why?
Because you are a love loves love. Love loves love.
But this is something I really want to grow into. I think that little Siphokazi is still there. Like, you're not that girl. Like, there's nothing big about you. But also, I'm just like, I can't avoid the fact that I'll go into a place that is far away from home, that I think no one knows me, and like, this little beautiful kid will jump onto me and say, Siphokazi, you're the one. And I'm like, yeah, but Soweto, who are you? I know you. My cousin stays in Swaneville, and I'm just like, okay, we are here. Or I'll walk into an event and I'll spend 1 hour before I get to a place in Funyohlala, because there's just people stopping me. Can we get a hug? Can we get a picture?
Are you open and willing to let it? Because
I am. I'm struggling.
You're not the one who's blowing this horn. I need you to understand this. You're not the one who's blowing this horn. It's yours. Be willing. Take your time, because sometimes such things, they overwhelm people, and then you end up losing yourself. And I appreciate how you're taking it, because of it's not over your head and everything, but allow it. You're that girl. You're that girl. As I'm saying that, I had so many DMs like, oh, the suspense is killing us. When is she talking? And all that.
When you told me that, I'm like, really? There's someone that is just, you wanna watch because I'm kind of.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't post my people prior, but I did with you. And how did you feel when I DM'd you and said, I would love to sit with you?
It was very interesting, very interesting. I don't get such invites a lot, or maybe I also just try to turn them down as much as I can. But also because I want to honor an invite that aligns with me and what I believe in. I never want to be in a space where I'll not feel good after that. So I've been familiar with the platform, and I'm like, you know what? There's a chance for me to go there and tell my story, and why not? Why not? Also, I'm very, very fond of you. I wouldn't have said no to you.
And I appreciate the time of woman. Like, she said yes.
I didn't think about it twice. Yes. I wouldn't have said no to you.
And what's your take on what this angle? I know and other people would think I'm undermining. I don't think if been undermining Kaslam, I would be having this and speak so proudly and wanted everything to be about Kaslam and all that. Other people but you cannot wanna inspire us while upumile. we get inspired by you being there. We see witness when ulapha nabantu aba hopeless. What's your take in that?
But that's a lie. That's a lie. Like we grow bigger than the places we're born in. I think for me the most important thing wherever I go, I don't want to lose the fact that Ndivelekasi. So I don't want to have a different twang.
Yes.
I don't want to almost not recognize myself. And if anything, and if there's a conversation that leads to that, I'll always let you know. I'm there. And I love how people will just say, oh, I don't want to lose that.
Yes.
I don't want to even lose that when I'm in the boardroom. I don't want to lose that when I'm in a lecture room.
Yes.
I don't want to lose that because honestly, a lot of people relate to you. Like a lot of people relate to you. And I want to be a relatable person.
Yes.
I want to be a relatable person. And guys, there's a lot that can easily take us back. There's so many bad habits,
yes,
even bad for you as a young professional or a person that is trying to make it out. So Puma definitely have to, but just don't forget where you're coming from. And I don't have a problem with you pushing this ulapa. And you're not a stranger, man. You are not a stranger. You are still accessible to people there, whether online or offline, and you don't have to physically be there every week to prove it back.
Yes.
You're saying it every chance you get, as much as you can, and that's enough for me, honestly.
Thank you.
And
I feel bad sometimes. Other people, they be like, how do you inspire other people? But because then I discover as much as it brings so much happiness at me, it brings so much sadness again.
I don't, sorry
Yes.
to cut you, but I don't think that's a very fair comment to make to someone. Also, it just means now as the person saying that you are not awufundi, because honestly, that's an entire conversation on its own that we can start about ikasi, that you will lose yourself trying to be a hero there.
Yeah.
We need to talk about the bad drinking habits, the bad spending habits,
They were bashing on me on TikTok. They were like, are you sure you are South African? Are you sure? You're speaking shit about us. Who are you protecting?
Nah,
I was like, but I'm being honest. As much as I speak isn't as nice about.
Nah, I feel like I can fully say that because even as a young professional, when I was completed with my degrees, I stayed at Kasi for like 3 years or 4, and I didn't like the person I was.
Yeah.
I didn't like how I made it my personality to go out. I didn't like how literally you think you're cool because of what you drink, because of the places that you go to.
Attention,
there's an unhealthy competition of I went to this place and Uban Banagagai and I'm seeing, but immediately I left because I honestly I got over it.
Thank you. And another thing about Dufunega, I understand. This is what I said the other day. But other people, they will praise you about every weekend. And then when you're out there, you'll be like, hey, people are leaving. Like they not get hyped about people. They talk about and you only learn that when you're out there. But it doesn't take away where you're from. I mean, I think I'm here, and in my subconscious mind, it's my people, my people, my people. And I always say it out loud, abantu bam. And the platform, I valelanga. Whoever wanna be here, I want them to come through. Because I feel on my lowest.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a time I was that's
things. True. I honestly didn't like the person I was, and up to this day, I think there's people that are struggling to accept me as this person that no longer cruise a lot. I do go out. I'll go with us in a weekend and want to go Vasco. And I think now I like the fact that I'm okay with going to the khasha.
Yes.
I want to be there. But back then I was obsessed about being seen paya. Now no, it's kumnandi from napaya and I'm there, but that's it. I'm okay with that.
Yes.
And I like the fact that my phone is not even in sight. I don't have to post anything. I don't have to do anything. Whereas there was that Siphokazi that I'd literally have his data because I'm here, I'm second location. And you think that was being
cool.
that what cool being cool is, but it's honestly not that. And it took me like moving out of Ikasi for me to be like,
but what you know what I should tell you right now, don't beat yourself hard about it. I think we all have to be on that phase empilweni zethu, because of you always look back and be like, because now you don't feel like when you're on that stage, but if you're missing out. But now, even if you 6 months, it feels like you were there last week. It's same shit.
I always say this, like, you're not missing out on anything. You're not missing. It's the same vibe. It's almost the same people, and you now I just like the fact that I have so much control around it. Because I want to go and I have the funds for it. As opposed to now, back then you guys would go. And you know, so now I'm just like, nah, we're not doing that. So and you know, misery likes misery. So there is still gonna be those people like us that will like bring you down and stuff like that. And I think the other thing, Basekas, is that you start even fighting battles that are not yours. I'm out here fighting with a 40-year-old. Hello.
Bluetooth like we should prove loyalty.
You know, and it's that. So like, leave, just don't be in the space.
And don't look down on other people as well.
So it's things that I had, some things you really realize them and you're like, this is not the direction I want my life to go, and and be content with that. There's an era where I was a host, and I don't know how I got to that position. Yes, I was a groovist that went to groove, but events I want to go to, and all of a sudden this was now turned into a job. I'd go to an event that I don't want to go to only in the name because I'm booked. So I realized, I really have these goals I wanna reach in my career, and they really don't mix with this, or it would take away from the great academic person that I am, or a researcher or a lecturer that I am, if now I'm seen, understand? And I want to be a good example.
And follower.
So I was just like, maybe this is where we need to start. And as much as at some point it was fun, because now you go to be your alcohol is now funded. Your tickets are now funded, as opposed to buying
You're
them.
An it gal.
I had to let it go. I wasn't that girl.
But do you understand where it took you, the angle? Did you understand why you were at that space?
I think it was just it was too much of grooving that exposed me and other people to the fact that you can actually do this. You can
it's that young Siphokazi who said, I'm nobody, I'm this, I'm that. And then now it comes to life, the very same person,
and now it led me to the things I don't like. By center of attention, like now I'm forced to entertain people because I believe you're here for me. And I'm in posters, and I think I was also starting to be big-headed, and that's not the person I want to be. I was like, nah. And I think the other thing that got to me a lot was that I think people couldn't differentiate Siphokazi that is at groove and Siphokazi that I am like 5 days of the week. And and the next thing you are getting DMs of, and I'm just like,
don't imagine this weekend.
Or when I'm like, I'm reading a book, do you read? I'm like, I wish you'd know me as a person that reads, as a person that does 1, 2, 3 and a bit of groove, but it was becoming the opposite now. During the week now, I'm not answering with the vibe, weekend. I probably gave you my number, I was drunk, text me, and Monday, I'm a focused girl. Like, you bore me. So it also made me this person that I am. But I think a young Siphokazi is fulfilled. You got the attention, I think, that you wanted. But I think I prefer, I don't want to be recognized when I'm at groove. I want to be there because I'm at groove and because this is the vibe I like, and just be okay with the people. I don't want to sit in any special place I don't want to be given any attention by the owner of this place, I just want to be like everyone. So I had to like really step back and be away, and you'll see me when you see me on the weekend, and we're gonna vibe, and it ends there.
Siphokazi Weeks. Tell me about it.
That's my baby. That's my baby.
Go 4 a.m. You're like, actually, Dihlambi Weeks. I was like, it's 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, that's a business of mine that I started out of boredom. Hey, 2020 lockdown. I'm a non-essential worker. I'm an intern at a municipality, and I'm getting paid my money. And sakweli, like I needed something to do. I think that's the thing I like about me. I am really not an idling mind. I'm uncomfortable in spaces where I'm not doing anything productive for my mind, for my physical being, or anything like that. So as someone that was then, I'd just graduated honors, and it was now lockdown, and I had access to money.
Yes.
And again, that is 1 year. I think I drank for all the years to come. I had money. I had money.
You went on trips.
You know.
Utujonga status Siphokazi on Facebook, 20 streams.
And the thing is, I'm around other young professionals who we are newly fresh on money.
Yeah.
Cinema.
Yeah.
So we are going there. We are drinking. We are buying these alcohol is unreasonable.
And did they just decide now that by Teben go?
We plan a thing in less than a month. Everyone has money. We are going.
Yeah.
We are going. So also, we were a very good circle because we're a circle that is known of degrees.
Yes.
Right? But we had bad habits.
Yes.
And we were not confronting those bad habits. So I think we had so much power that a lot of other girls could learn from us, or young girls, that we made having degrees cool. But again, because we had very bad drinking habits. We had very bad drinking
I want to
habits.
attest to that.
We had very
But
bad
I never
drinking
saw them
habits.
as bad drinking habits for me. I just saw young girls who are finding their feet, and who have been at school for a longest time, and they need a break.
Yeah, Yona, it was honestly that, because again, for the longest time, now we are done, now we are back.
Yeah.
But yeah, and again, it's one phase that I'm so glad that I passed through.
Yes.
It was the happiest time of my life. Those girls gave me the happiest time of my life. Oh, those girls gave me the happiest time of my life.
I like it.
And it's people that we were childhood friends. Like I knew this one, I knew this one, I knew this one. It was the happiest time of my life, to be quite honest. And although we had, because also I'm thinking, my thing now is that as young professionals, we have money. But the way we were going on, it really wasn't good. We were like, why were we not saving, maybe? Or maybe we were saving, but just a little.
Yeah.
And also, I think, honestly, you don't even have to go through that as a young professional. You don't have to go through that.
But what was going to happen now?
It was character building, but...
And I love it. Imagine now you are married, you are settled, you have now that you are focused more in your career, and then it happens, boom.
It was an important phrase to pass, but I also just open a lot of other doors. Now you are,
it's hard,
that
it's
girl.
stigma.
We are chola because you think you're the hottest girls. You're starting to mingle with the famous guys, Malapekasi, and you're just, it's like now your entire personality is made out of you being a cruise. So I had to restructure. I want you to know me as an academic, as a lecturer, before you know me as, I want you to enjoy the little pockets of me, using me on top of the couch, and understand that you can actually have those moments, but I don't want to make that my entire personality, because and it just makes you, another thing I hated was that I'm this person, when it goes back to Monday, I had the most busiest weekend. I did everything that I could do in a weekend. And Monday, here I am. I'm a sermon girl. I'm listening to T.D. Jakes. I'm listening to Pastor Michael Todd. And they're saying something that touches my heart. And I want to post it. And someone just comes and says, you God, it broke my heart. It did. Because, you'd have people that are like, and I'm like, we have derailed so much that people find it funny when
and
you
now you have to shift it and make it as a joke.
The entire existence, I cannot talk to you and not tell you how great God is. I'm so grounded in who I am in the kingdom of God that I don't even have to go to church every Sunday. I don't want to be seen going to church every Sunday, but I want you to know just so much, how much I actually believe in God and how much I wouldn't have had not even one of the things you find cool about me if it wasn't for God. And so it was just, now I can post about it. Now I can share someone and be like, yo, this is the most interesting sermon I've listened. And someone's like, I'm rushing to listen to it. I'm like, yeah. Now I enjoy paying for tickets there. Thank God first, let's go to a recording in spirit of praise, because I feel like the other side of who I am, and now this side of me is who I am most of the time. You see me Saturday, and the Saturday that you see me has clouded the fact that I'm a believer, has clouded the fact that I'm someone that likes to read novel, has clouded the fact that I'm an intelligent person, has taken over my entire, so it wasn't a good balance. I think that's the other thing for me. So I had to be like, okay, as much as I enjoy my piano, and I still do that, and I enjoy my events and stuff, but maybe it's because of also how I overdid it. I overdid it. So it made me cringe, because what do you mean you find it funny that I speak about God? Have I made groove so much of my personality that you'd rather enjoy a review from me about a song that is nice and not about a scripture that I just have
you forgiven that, Siphokazi?
Not entirely. And the thing that makes it hard to forgive this for us is the people that keep coming back from that past life. The people that will still try to get you to host, the people that would still invite you to things. And
are you willing to forgive her? Are you?
I am. I'm definitely gonna get there. I've made so much progress.
Yes.
And also because Evangeli that I listen to now is Evangeli that is accommodative of Siphokazi law, and I think that's the thing that I struggle to physically go to church, because I'm not finding that Evangeli, right? I'm finding Evangeli that just wants perfect people, but that I get to listen and choose is Evangeli that says you can have tattoos and God still loves you. You can have gold and God still loves you. And Evangeli that has also just taught me to see people for just more than what I see. Now I can meet a prostitute and they tell me about God, and I'll believe, because you're a human. You can be busy with prostitution, but you'll have a minute where God talks to you. And even if you pray for you to do the prostitution so good, or pray that you get your customers, but I always believe, like, when it's got time, you will get over that life.
Exactly.
You will find something else. So in our real churches, our churches are not that.
They're not for that. And now, how do you feel when I told someone Siphokazi is coming? Like, she's a great person. That, like, Mamela, you get it, because I'm leading this to where you said you just want to know people on another personal level, in a sense that I love it when someone says to me, you've got beautiful aura. And
also that coming from Upumla. Do you know, if there's anything I wanna be as calm as that woman. Like Upumla gives. I get goosebumps speaking about her.
I instead of a friend, she's my sister, because so I would eat whatever they eat. Like, it was basically day one.
And funny, I don't know her. I really don't know her. Really? It's someone that I know now.
Pumla Paswana, Jonas, Siphokazi. I'm gonna arrange a date for you guys.
Please, I love her. She's so calm. I've never met someone ongadinwa.
Yeah.
Upumla is gonna find a reason to say something beautiful to you every single day. If it means a comment on 3 different things you've posted today, she will say that. She will. I wanna be as calm and as peaceful as Upumla. So her saying that, Joe, warms my heart. Really warms. I wanna grow up to be a person that is very chilled. Like,
but
I really wanna possess positivity. Like, I want a.
But you are.
I hope. I really wanna really be more
now,
of that.
Weeks. That's why I keep on saying, you don't know why I'm Siphokazi Mbetha. Do you think bebekuthandela for that Siphokazi ungamthandi. That's how they know you for.
I really don't know. I'd like
If
to
that was
know.
the case, the moment you live that life, they would have unfollowed you.
And they didn't. They
I understand.
Really
if really that was the case, we understand.
And to be honest, also there's a part of me that is slowly learning that I deserve the life I get because I really give out that much and I'm intentional. Like in my years of just trying to grow to this young woman, I've listened to sermons that have inspired me. I don't want to meet a person in Piwang, but the younger me would have such people. I will literally force myself to talk to you because there's
one word I choose not to use. Who hate. Like I don't.
I don't want. But back then you'd be careless with such words. The older me that is stepping into my 30s very soon doesn't want to be the person. Like I want to meet the most lost girl, the most unworthy girl in the eyes of the people, and still have something really good to say about them. And I hope they believe it. And I just want to remind them that you are not this person. You are bigger than the person that smokes drugs. You are bigger than the person that is a hoe. You are bigger than because you're honestly bigger than that. And I know that when you are lost, you think, and you get a lot of people like us that are unkind. And there's just no one to say something positive to you. I want to be that person. I want you to slide into my DM and I tell you just how amazing you are. And that's the one thing I love about this news podcast that's older. I get those goals. I really get people that tell me their things and I cry. This week I had a girl who told me they're in a very abusive relationship and they want out. It's just that sometimes I feel like I lack resources, but the fact that you trusted me with that, and also I have to learn that when I move from my inbox to my normal feed, I'll see you there writing all sorts of things. And I get that, people will post jokes and there's just the other person that's not happy on the side that I get to meet on the DM. So I really want to be that person. I want the person that feels really stupid, unloved, unworthy, undeserving to text me, and I hope I don't have much, but I hope I say something that makes you realize even nagule nyaga you are really a great and God can work with you.
That's what I always say, that it's to recognize a human being prior to the gender, the skin color, the language, the tradition, the choices you've made. I always say that. I even make it typical to my son. Before you see a girl's boobs and their ass, acknowledge that they are human beings and they are wired differently. And the moment you acknowledge that people are wired differently, it leaves a space for you to be tolerant. Because of you understand. It makes you tolerant as a person. But I cannot expect to Siphokazi because of us. It just makes things easy for you. Ndifuna sibuyele kukazi weeks. Ama-services wakho, and where do you see it going? Do you see that factory enkulu uqashe abantu, making sure abanye abantu bayakwazi uba nesonga ngenxa kakazi weeks one day?
Definitely. And it's not even like in my mind, it's not a really far-fetched dream, hey? I really, not even a factory, but I really want to have a very cute, girly salon. With a lot of girls, basekasi, that are working there, because that's the thing. Mantomazana selection are talented with their hands. So I'm hoping there's like a nail bar, a lash tech, and I'm just not even there. I'm just here to make sure if everything works well. And I also need to add this, that where I see it is that I don't want to hire all those people. I don't want to hire a nail tech. I want to give a nail tech the space and the platform. So I'm good with the wigs and that's enough for me. But I have no interest in nails. And as much as I'm trying to create a one-stop shop, but I don't want to take away from you so I want someone that already operates as a nail tech, but is like, I'm lacking the business acumen or the business. And because I have the opportunity to get all this business education, I want to come back and be like, yo, this is how you price. this is how you market, this is how you do 1, 2, 3, this is how you do 1, 2, 3, and let you flourish in my working space. Okay. If it means we have a rent a chair agreement, but I still want you to operate as an individual business page, as an individual. You know, I want people to say nails by Ubanban is operating in the premises of, but I don't want to own you and your craft. Like, yeah.
Last time, did we invite her on my Unscramble Live? Did you invite her, Glenn? Page? Did we invite her? Because I want to separate my personal page and my business page. I've seen that through you, by the way. So I was like, hey, but and
I really take it serious. It really irks me because people don't take it serious. And I know I once commented with page last someone back home. I just don't remember who it was, but they would do like jokes and post these other fun, nasty things with the business page. I'm like, but why?
You don't do that.
You can.
So that is why I saw a need of moving from my personal page to. And one accept was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Maybe I
you should. Also, because honestly, we're people. Sometimes I'm probably just having the wines with you, and we're having our lives. And this is me outside of what I do. You know. And I don't want to wake up the next day, I'm deleting, because I think the other thing for me is that I realized that e-business would really bring people to Abasuka, all sorts of old people, young people, and I just want it to always be neat. And it just makes my life easy, because if Ndifunuba Sepoto Inyam, I can do it on my personal page and joke and write all the nonsense I want to write, and it doesn't have to affect my business. So I think it's just one of the things that we need to learn and be professional about it, how you answer, what you do, what you don't do, and all of. And I haven't gotten fully there, but that's one thing I'm very strict about. Let the business page be the business page.
Having to be in a situation where your friends be like,
I have to give my friends the flowers. I have the most supportive bunch of friends, and it has always been the case. I'm saying this because maybe abanye sislugene, but even then, you know. And I think there's also something really important that you need to learn as an entrepreneur and stuff like that. I have really good friends of mine.
Oh, okay.
But as much as they're like, when it's a celebrity, you jump. But I can't take away from the fact that they've supported me in other avenues of my life or other areas of my life in ways that no one would have showed up for me.
Yes.
And I don't know what you're thinking. Maybe the 150 BC week is a lot for you. Maybe whatever that is. But I also just want you to know that you can exist in my life. And as a very good friend of mine,
I'm not taking it personal.
You know, because for others, it's them sharing my work. There's a lot of your contacts that have come to me. And to the fact that Slee herself hasn't. But how many people have asked you, like, Ukazi is really, you know? And I understand. I think we need to understand that there's so many ways that people can support and show up for you besides actually bringing the actual wig or paying you for that service. And I appreciate that. Okay. And yes, in my immediate circle, almost everyone has brought their wig or bought something or and there are those moments where I would go, I'm like, oh, it's posh, that's why it's that. And they'd be like, I know they want the business person to come and touch you. I'm like, as a young boy, Mara Ian's a song. They do that. I've got my friends that can straighten their wigs and like, I'll do it. But at the core of them, they've never abused my business.
Are you willing to teach people how to make wigs? I am. Like, I'm so bad with wigs. I'm so bad with makeup. I'm so bad.
I am. I really am willing. I'm willing. Maybe we are going to get there. There's been like a few inquiries and I was like, you know what? I'm going to create the platform for that. Also, because the beauty industry is evolving, there's always
something.
And also, another thing is that, you know that you can really go online and learn how to wash wigs. I don't have a a magic secret. I literally, me starting a wig business, I started this at Res. That's one thing people don't know, but it wasn't like an official business. It was the era when we started buying Inweleze Brazil. I think 2017, I'm working there as a letting agent at Reziam.
Yes.
And I had this wig and I knew I can't afford to take it to the salons and stuff. So I was like, how do I take care of this precious? Because it was one of the most important things I bought. And that's where I started. And I found a video and that worked for me and that still works for me now.
Oh, wow.
You know? So I think, and also this is something I've written to someone on social media, and I think that they might have taken it bad, Uti. We are such a generation that wants to pay for everything. In the name of, I pay for convenience. I play very loose, ngalo line a lot.
Yeah.
I pay for convenience, but also you need to be careful of when you are running away from reading and researching. And those are soft skills you need in every, whether you work for someone, whether you're a business person, whether you need to. And now we have normalized paying for stuff. Siphokazi goes online and sets up this really nice package and sell it back to you. But you really, if and so but these whole masterclass things are great. But for me to pay for a masterclass, there needs to be something in the things that you're offering that I can find. It's a Slee thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's a Slee hack. Yeah. But now we are paying for something that
it's out there.
Yeah, not online.
Search. Your makeup. I literally do your
I remember even the era of bros before, like we did permanent ones.
Yes.
You draw from the bad ones to until it got good, but you just have to have the patience to do it, kaninzi. You know, but manje boniba, the whole paying thing is sort of like, I'm paying in exchange to not do this part of, and you really won't get far with trying
and
not
God
to.
God forbid, should it happen tomorrow, I'll send a Google money, but for your convenience, what's gonna happen? You
know. So I think it's, as much as sometimes it's always best to take Bolt and Uber but when there's a chance, get the experience of taking a taxi and getting off the anxiety of short left after Robert hours with there's a part that it plays. So I think the whole paying thing now is an exchange of, I don't want to do the work, and you can't. And I think another misconception about the whole thing, Yama Masterclass, is that it's a quick money making. There's no way. Like, I'm in my 4th year of doing business, and I once read I don't know if it was a video from this guy that washes amategi batu letabo that owns Walk Fresh. And he said that you start making money in a business in your 5th year. And every time I can't balance my business finances, every time I eat my money at business, I'm just like, again, when they said you're going to make money in the 5th year was because in these other years, you're going to learn the discipline of having your personal account in the bank. And it has gotten better now. Me having stock is slowly without, I'd have to literally, this week, I was bad with money. But now I understand that I have to buy it. It comes, but those are things you have to allow 4 years. Be bad, make money, and this and that and that and that. Experience bad customers, the good ones, the complaining ones, the what. But you are gonna get there where and now in my 4th year, the discipline is great.
Wow.
The discipline is great. Like, if I take my business money now, I can pay it back. And there's times where I can't pay it back because it had to cover whatever. I give myself grace. But I constantly have the thing that says, remember, you owe the business. But also what has helped me is that now I prioritize. Like, I wouldn't have fun in my business, but back then I would. I would blow up my entire money.
Stock.
Yeah, and because I want this thing so bad, even maybe sometimes the people in Abana will take the business.
Yes,
but now I would never.
I needed to hear this because the podcast it's only 5 months old. And sometimes I feel so discouraged. So I needed to hear that. But it's such a fresh.
Even with give yourself the grace, work your views up. And I get also why you're impatient. It's because you have seen a number of people that have grown their views overnight. But I think this is other one important thing I always say to people. You need to understand your positioning in life. And I mean that in the sense that as much as someone that is doing exactly what you're doing, they are on 5,000 views and you're not there. You need to, one thing about me, about everything. I'm about everything. But my things come with glory. My things come in double size.
Mamela,
my things come in double XL.
You know, kunanomfana bathi uFosh Pilato. I met him 2014. Dansa sebenza MLK. Yes,
Yeah.
MLK.
Yeah,
Knock.
yes.
You know that I've worked with MLK production.
I know.
He reminded me. You know it.
Yeah.
I
Muluk,
didn't- yes.
amazing guy. I know him.
You
You were their presenter.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
I forgot that.
I know.
Me, personally. Until he was like, you were made for this, Slee.
Yeah.
Now, Yabona, 10 years later, you're only realizing that you have to come back. I was like, I forgot even that I was here before.
And the nicest thing about God is that He will bring you to the things that are meant for you. And whether it takes you 5 years to connect the dots, but they will. I remember as a kid, or maybe as a first year, I'd pass in Bramfontein, Apo Besbambela Koni Mega Past, and there used to be a salon called Revlon at the left. And I would daydream about how I'd go there for training and be a stylist and come back home and be known for this. And it died a long time ago in Revlon Payana. And now I'm here, I'm like, oh, now we have like a solid business of doing wigs.
Yes.
And I remember there were a lot of my journals that I lost where I'd say, I want to own a saloon.
Yes.
I want to, and we're not there, but I'm like, the vision is so clear now. Like the goal is so clear now. So it will always come back.
Yes.
The thing where you were presenting there and now you are here.
And then someone said, are you aware that you're the first
you know?
You are the first podcaster I gaslit. I was like, are you for real? You know?
Exactly. And some things are just not meant for other people. Like they're not. Your thing is your thing, and there's a skill and some grace that it comes with. But things will always, what is meant for you will always find its way. It will always. I remember also another thing of mine, and now I'm here. Going to varsity, I'm doing BCom accounting. A lot of my friends are doing education.
Yes.
Almost to an extent that Ekas, when you're doing education, you're not deemed smart. But when I come in, like I'm doing BCom accounting, you think I'm very smart.
Yeah.
Right? And fast forward, I'm here, I lecture. Aren't I a teacher?
You are. You are.
It was,
It's
why
just
did I
on
think
another
I'm
level.
that girl now? You know, I thought like, I felt special
Yes.
because I was doing something out of the ordinary, you know, and you'd easily say, this one is smart.
Yeah.
And I a teacher now.
You are. So now, how do you balance your business and your studies? Shiro ngapha, and Tina, there's a certain way that we want to see you Siphokazi, even in your lowest, in your highs, in your. How do you balance all of that, like mentally, physically, all aspects of emotions?
Structures, my love. Structures, routine, habits. You know. And I get a lot of people that ask me, how did you, during my master's, I grooved a lot.
Yes.
When I was doing a master's.
Yes, and I asked you that off scene as well.
Monday, the work I put in Monday to Thursday, I was making up for the Friday and Saturday I'm going to drink.
Okay.
Right? And you need to build structures so well that you start doing noba, even if your mind is not there, even if you're not feeling that. Because I mean, life is like that. Some days you don't feel like that, but because there's this commitment that you've made yourself and your body has gotten used to it, you will do it.
Yes.
I think it's the same discipline even with people that gym or run and stuff.
Yes.
Uyagula, une fever, but they're running because there's this itchiness, right? Yes, exactly. That was the thing with me. I'd gotten so disciplined in my academic life that I knew that there mustn't be a day that passes by without me doing something.
I love that.
And also, you need to understand that not every day I'm going to be the peak of my productivity.
Yes.
But I'd gotten to understand myself so well that on my lazy day, I knew on my lazy days, I can't focus. That means I can't be reading articles. Let's work on the structure of my thesis. Where are the errors, where things I can easily do with me playing music. But there's days where I'm locked in. Now I'm reading articles and I need to understand what am I taking? How does this article link to my study? What is this? So you gotta understand with productivity, there's lows and high, but what do you do on your lows? The mistake we do is that on our lows, we just want to chill. But on the lows, do the tasks that don't want you to focus a lot.
I struggle with.
Yeah, do the tasks that don't want you.
I struggle on my lows. There's vanilla 5 days.
Yeah, I no longer have those. Joe, I would be on a straighter and straightening hair and crying because some girl is trolling me online.
Yeah.
And I'm crying because I answered them.
Ish.
And yes, it's cool, but now I hate the traction in my inbox because people think there's now sides.
Yeah.
And I'm dying because I'm not this person. And I can't take back now. People have seen me respond. People have seen me do 1, 2, 3, but I'm not that girl. So I've stooped to their level. And I'm just out here straightening my wigs, but you grow through that. Like now you can't bring me there. Like now I'd probably laugh if I get you online. I'll probably laugh and be like, "Go heal my baby."
Like it has nothing to do with me. Like
I'd respond. I think I've had 2 occasions where I literally fought with someone online. And Babati's social media has footprint. That is one part of me I wish I can erase, but I've learned you can't. But I know now you can never bring me to that level. You can say the worst thing about me. I'm never going to answer you. Not online.
Where
Never.
do you see yourself in 3 years' time?
The most published academic writer.
Yes.
A senior lecture professor.
Yes.
At a university. I don't know if it will still be UJ.
Yes.
But also just a specialist in what I do, in auditing,
We cannot shy away from this. Can you please tell me about your academics, please? I know you're modest about them, but it's not for you. Okay?
No, I've learned to own up. I've paid the price.
Yes, tell me about them. And Kalogo, UJ recognizes you. Tell me a bit about, not a bit, tell me about Naba.
So, I have a BCom accounting degree.
Yes.
That is what I did undergrad. I've got a honors in internal auditing.
Yes.
I've got masters now in computer auditing.
Yes.
And I'll be doing my PhD in auditing next year.
Yes.
But that's what I do. And I'm a assistant lecturer at UJ for second years, BCom accounting. And I'd like to say now I'm a researcher because you're forced when you're in the space to write papers and stuff like that. But that's why I'm saying I see myself as someone that is published, but like academic papers. Mm-hmm. So when you like Google search on a particular topic that has to do with auditing or commerce, I hope like someone was like, they search, they're like, what is what in my article pops up?
Yes.
Like, I know her.
Yeah, boy. So now there's this thing, there's a girl. Sekaslethu kumnyama right now uyazama lokhu uyafeyila shooting at 2 points uyazama this, it's failing, uyazama this. What would you say to them?
Firstly, kuzokhanya. Akubi mnyama always. There has to. So I have a tattoo that's written Liduduma Linette Lidule. Definitely. Yes. Definitely. So maybe in your season you Duduma, but it's your season, own it. Let the thunder. Or maybe if you're in your season of it's raining, Liana, but I think one thing about me that now I think I'm also very intentional about is that you have to take the lessons, whatever the season is. There's no way there can be a lesson. Okay. And I think that's maybe where we differ a lot is because people want to quickly step out of the suffering. But I don't know. I've just grown to enjoy being in the suffering because I know when I come out of here, the strength that I have, mentally, I'm in a very powerful space, and spiritually, I'm in a very powerful space. So I've learned to really embrace my rough patches. Yes. And I think in hindsight, it has made it very bearable. Yeah. It has made it very bearable to sit in the dark place. Yes. But you gotta have hope for the brighter days, Yeah. You gotta have hope that you will heal. And you have to speak about those days. Even it's pain, but I know it's okay. I think the most important is I know I'm gonna get out of here. Yes. And I think you also need to understand who are you with in that space, And I think for me as a believer, I know that I'm with God, and in my dark spaces, that's where I think I'll be on a high of very listening to the sermons, to scriptures. And I don't know, I just feel like it's something that they'll just be, the scripture will align. Will align with the thing. Yes. I remember there was a season where I wasn't working. My contract, it just ended, but it was like 3 months of me not working. Yeah. And I was doing my wigs, and I didn't really struggle financially. Like, I still had money, but I was so desperate to work, and I didn't want to recognize that chapter where I wasn't working. I didn't want to be known that I'm not working at that time. I was kept to myself, and I was listening to a scripture. I don't remember what the scripture was about or the sermon was about, but I just remember stopping utunga and just crying, and I was so overwhelmed. But like now I look at that and I realize that, when you realize who you're with during that season and you're hopeful about the future, and you just do the things that you can only do when you're in that season. Yes. That's why I'm saying to you, structures and routine are very important. So if you're someone that routinely pray, I have no choice. I'll pray even tomorrow, even if it's a bad day, I will pray. Yeah. But now that means the only thing I'm holding on to is that prayer.
Consistency.
Is in that prayer, because I believe in who I'm praying to, and the one that you're praying to will pull through for you, like and that's all you can ever do sometimes. Like, just sit, bask in the tears. Ukhale, but ungakhali njengomuntu onganathemba. That's my thing. Ungakhali njengomuntu ongakazi uThixo wabamhle empilweni yakho. So me, even when I'm going through the most, I'll say it in my prayers that Nkulunkulu, I've been in situations like this before. I've felt this way before, again. And then it gives me ease during that dark period. But okay, I'm eager to learn the lesson. What is the lesson? Maybe I had to lose the person. Maybe I had to. And sometimes the lessons are not great. I think that's the other thing. Sometimes the lessons are you really confronting yourself and your bad habits. And you know what your bad habits are. But most of the time, guys, a lot of things that hold us back is us. What content are you consuming? Who are you talking to? What are you listening to? It gets to a point, even the songs that you're listening to. Yeah, that's why people that come to my space will get me banging on some joyous celebration. I'm like, I like amapiano. This was like a Friday and do my
let this moment
go. This is the moment. Or you get me and I'm listening to. I even listen to podcasts, but good podcasts that entertain my flesh self. There's podcasts that I listen to because they fulfill my spiritual self. That's important. So I know when I'm in my lows, like amapiano don't even make sense to me. Don't come to me about that, but this is where now I do the things I religiously do. Remember, I told you when you started, every time I'm about to do a week, I'll plug on my phone and I'm listening to a sermon. I do that noba and I will listen in Borele sermon and hit next until I find something that is for me. And I've always just found something that is for me. So as someone, go back to your question, what are you doing ebumnyameni? Because what seems to bumnyama like you is really just your waiting season, and there's things you need to be doing in your waiting season. Are you learning how to be grateful in your waiting season? Are you thanking God for the small things, or you're just so obsessed with this big thing that God is not doing but me, I'm not. Are you thanking God for the things that you have now? Are you looking back and be like, me, I'm a girl that was wearing isn't this tungeng mama chin, and there's people now that on Facebook, when they see a post that says tag a person that dresses nice, and they tag me. What do you mean? My mom ngumthungi from this is what she's done her whole life. And I said, I'm like, now I afford a what, and now I'll get a stream of people that are tagging me as a best dressed girl. And there's someone that's like, I like your sneaker collection. My first most expensive sneaker, I was probably 16, and people my age would wear them. Baby, it was all star. So what are you doing in your waiting season? And I think you need to confront yourself, because maybe you are not still in your waiting season because Siphokazi is flourishing, but it's not your season to even flourish. And how are you going to flourish when you're not even recognizing where you are right now? And you're making it so hard for God to work because the whole point of you trying to elevate is not because you need this thing. It's because Siphokazi has it. And just to also bring this into perspective with me, I don't have a car.
Yeah.
Everyone in my circle probably has a car. I know a lot of people that has cars. And I remember and because I'm a young professional, and I'll tell you I'm a lecturer, you're thinking, wow,
yeah.
And in a society that tells you that if you're successful, there has to be a car involved. Yes. If it's not, then we are not sure about.
Yeah.
I've had to tell myself that no, you're not gonna buy a car because can you afford a car? And I realized that my drive to wanting a car was not driven by the fact that I need a car, but it was driven by the fact that people around me are making aware that, do you see that you're the one that doesn't have a car in that circle? Do you see that you're not successful yet? Do you see that you're not picture perfect? But I'm forgetting to thank the fact that there's Ubanyana, my friend, who has a car that takes me everywhere I want to go. And that's something that someone else doesn't have. I'm not thanking the season I'm in. I'm at a place where I'm privileged so much that I call 3 or 4 of my friends and need a car. And if all of them are going to pitch here in the next hour and take me where I want to be, why? I am going to have mine, but why? So, and I got to realize the whole drive wasn't the fact that I needed it. It was because I wanted to look like I have everything figured out together to the people that are looking at me, and then you find other people that admire you so much and they're just like, we see your success without the car. So because the two people think now I'm out to prove, and it's not that. Realize where you are. Like, not one thing about me, God has blessed me with really amazing people. Like, I can't imagine saying avelelu my mom now and there's no one I can call to pick up my mother and take them where they need to be. Up. And it's because God has presented those people life in here, and they're there for a reason. I'm gonna get to a place where I have my own car, but I need to realize that I've got all these people that are ready to jump at my own agency, not theirs. It's my own urgency, but I have a friend of mine that will stand up, whether they were cozy, whether they were doing what, and land upon the call. Oh. But you want to complain that you don't have it. You want to complain. So we really don't realize where we are. So why am I here? Yeah. What's the lesson? What am I grateful for? Think about also the similar situation where you were feeling this way and God saved you. And I hope that reminds you that things are gonna get better. So yeah, man, it's just that. We have everything we need. There's enough provision for us. We are sustained by the Lord, but we just don't see that because and that is it's not part of God's plan, and you're gonna be frustrated because now you want to shove your plan onto God. You want to shove your plan onto God, and it's not gonna work like that. So if where you have to be grounded and have seasons where there's no movement, things seem slow. That's why I've reached the point where I understand this na move. Almost everything.
It's acknowledging. It's acknowledging.
And I don't want to be at any better position because also I've understood how as lost as they come with so much other greater things. So
I love that. Do you believe in love? I'm not talking about Umjolo, but do you believe in love in general? Because the host to TikTok and I was like, I was looking for my father's face in other men's faces, and then why Unamang? Don't you understand that love is universal? Why you were so specific that you're looking for a dick's love?
Yeah, that's why I'm defensive when someone says to me, maybe you have daddy issues.
Yeah,
like no. No, I don't have. I can't undermine the other men that were in my life and played equally an important role as the one Oamutatanzala would have played. So I think that we also, these English terms come with a lot of things.
I just discovered this black love. This black love.
What do you mean by black love?
Something black. Now we want to put colors in everything. I was like, so now we have black love, and then we have.
And what if it's not black?
But do you believe in love?
I do. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do.
But what you just said right now, it's love.
It would be stupid of me not to believe in love.
Yeah.
So that on its own, I'm saved.
Any regrets besides the one that you told me about? Is it the one that you regret?
I wished I'd loved my younger self more. I wish I was kind. I wasn't kind to that girl at all. I hated everything about that girl.
Are you for real?
Yeah, nothing was ever beautiful about that girl. But understand me, I had a good childhood. I played with everyone, but I really didn't love myself.
Were you in a space where people would say remarks that made you not to love yourself, or you were just being hard on yourself?
That
I know primary school and high school, people are brutal, people are not happy within themselves, they say things, and we are kids. I mean, I was never white enough, I was never black enough, and all that.
To be honest, I think as a kid, it has to be definitely the statements that people say to you. And then later on, as you grow, it's the society. But I'll explain what I mean by that. So growing up, I'm not a soft girl. I still am not a soft girl now. But like I've gotten to embrace it. I get on TikTok and I find girls that say, I cry every day. Yo, dude, I can stay 3 months of not crying. Why am I crying?
These things that you're telling me, you remind me of Celeste and Dooley.
Yes. I'm not feminine. Like, yes. I've gotten to so many situations where I want the other gender to sort of recognize me. But that gender doesn't want. That gender wants soft girls.
There was a time I believed that you were a lesbian. There was a time I believed that you were a lesbian.
A lot, even now. A lot of people think so. And I'm okay with that. It's not a train smash for me, but when I get a chance, I'll just educate that. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
But I'm not so defensive about it. Yes. If that's the picture you have about me, that's okay. But there's a point where that would kill me. And when I told you that there was an incident where on social media I was like fighting with this girl, one of the people said, I'm transgender. And it got to me.
Which year was that?
Very few years ago, less than 5 years ago, I just don't remember. And so obviously, and this one comment said, I'm transgender. And I think that time I was old, but still had my own insecurities, and it got to me. And I'm like, what do you mean? Am I that ugly? Am I that? I remember there was an era in my life where I hated the fact that I had black spots and I would smudge a lot of makeup. But now I hate makeup. Like, unfunny and down makeup. Like, and it has moved now recently to my Instagram that I post. I don't have insecurity.
Yes.
Yeah, like I post. And I got a comment that someone said, you have nice skin. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, you don't have perfect skin, but you have nice skin.
Skin tone.
So you grow, man, and eventually we are what I was fussing about. It really, and as a kid, I used to hate inyawazam because also the other thing, the fact that I'm built like sort of a man.
Yeah.
And again, I'm in sports. What do you mean?
Yes.
Now it would even happen. So I was a very good netball defender. Yes. When I was playing in varsity, people would be like, because the person but you're growing like, nah, it's not because I'm a good defender. You know, I'm a good defender.
Yes.
So because I'm old in age. Advantage is I'm good.
Yes.
But it takes time. It takes time to get there, but you get there. Now that's why I tell you that I hate the spotlight. But now the more I'm like, I hate the spotlight, it comes to me. Yeah. But now I don't want male attention. I don't want any of that. But again, I have cousins and I can see when they're there, and I wish I can tell you that shit won't matter in a few years. But let me let you, because I can't live that experience for you.
Yeah.
But and so Namanja, in an era where big nyash and stuff, I'm also for that. Yeah, big nyash, but I'm not that girl, and I'm okay. I will live in this world and coexist with you with a big nyash.
You remind me of my mom. Let me share this. My mom would be like, hey, that. Show me a place apho kuthiwa izithu ezikhulu zodwa. Le micondo yami ayizungena akukhatywana ke dali.
And also the part I'd wanted to touch on about growing up and older people will say statements of as now being old and having my mom being a pensioner and a machoma, and I get to hear the conversation, I get to see that also it would be a bit unfair for you to hold it against them.
Yeah.
They don't know any better.
Yeah.
So you must also forgive them for not even saying sorry. But now my responsibility is to educate my mom, who's a farm girl, on how to move now. There's a lesbian, mama.
Yes,
there's a lesbian. And I get it's against your values, but they're in this world and they have to live and they deserve just irrespective as the next person. And as much as you don't like them, but let them live comfortably in the space. It's okay not to believe in them.
And if you don't have anything nice to say, just keep quiet.
Yeah, you don't even have to say it, but at least allow them the platform to live.
Yes.
There's already people that are making it hard for them to live. Like, just let them live. whatever it is that you want to call them in your mind or whatever, just let them live. Give them the space to live. And obviously my mom, I think that's the other thing I like about her, she's very teachable.
Yes.
Yeah, because she'll get confused with manje magu gay, do we now call her sis? I'm like, no.
They prefer. I have a friend. I have a friend who's gay. He always say, please pronounce me as he and him.
Yeah.
Or them. Or they, but don't call me a she, because I acknowledge that I'm a man. I'm just attracted to other men.
Exactly. So even with me, I haven't gotten the hang of the pronouns and stuff, but those are things that you just have to sort of, especially if you are going to bump in.
Rather ask.
Just ask so that you don't misgender someone.
It's not like that's the first thing I saw in you, but I don't want to offend you as well.
Yes,
How do you prefer me to pronounce you?
So it's really that Nabantu Badala played a part, because your younger growing selves, you are going to be what they say to you every day. So I think that's why it's important for people, even now. I mean,
show them love.
Maybe this is this is one person you want to hear it from, because I don't have a kid or anything like that. But like, I really think you play a part. Like, you are smart. Just because I don't understand this doesn't mean I'm stupid and stuff like that. But then growing older, I think my insecurities now were around the fact that I wasn't the most beautiful girl in the room. Not that I've been, but like, I wanted the attention.
But do you know that you are beautiful?
And it was, now
you are.
Now I know.
And
if you come for me, I know you have taste.
You have, if you
rich taste.
I love it. You are beautiful. Honestly speaking, just know that it's just that game. I always say that it might. That's it. But you are beautiful. To me, you are beautiful, and I love you.
Yes, I love you too.
I do love you. God forbid, and in closing, a word for the day and your business platforms, please.
Ndifuna ukhunjulwa about really being the girl that believed. And maybe let me say this. I want to be remembered as a girl that God did it for her. Yeah. None of my might, none of my strength, none of even the discipline I was telling you about and the structures, but like more than everything, just God. Before we move on to this, someone DM'd me Izolone. Oh, I wanted to cry. The person said to me, Nikki, I guess I can really say her name because she really, Nikki Prudence Vokonkosh, I think she was a 23. Yes. I hope I spelled her surname right. She said to me, so I posted, like, someone gifted me the pictures of graduation, so I made like a video and I posted, and she's like, you remind me that something like you remind me of the power of God, or you remind me that God is faithful. And that's the most beautiful compliment I've ever gotten. And I just said to her, thank you, babe. I hope he just does more for you, I really want that, honestly speaking, because I can tell you everything. But like, if you're really not fueled by God, I don't know if it would be possible. But I want you to know that for me, it's not even because I'm smart. It's not even because of anything. It's literally. So I want you to just know that you're doing if you are not inviting him, if you're not getting to know him. And I'm hoping, I'm trying not to sound churchy-like, because I also want to highlight the fact that as it is, I don't have a church. Yes. But
church is a building. What is important is the relationship
my praying has gotten better. The first time of all the years I was in church, I started fasting because I read a book about fasting and believed in the benefits that it had. And it wasn't even a Bible, but it was a book, but the person would refer to scriptures. But the person like gave me logic of fasting physically to remove toxins in my body, and spiritually what it can do for you. And for the first time when I tried it, It was me not being, and my church, the one I was in, would fast a lot before.
Yeah.
But it was just never my
They,
thing. Also, I was
they
a kid.
understood the
Why was I
purpose, because other
fasting?
people, they fast because of just fasting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing I think I also realize is that traditional churches don't really accommodate us, because yes, whether you like it or not, we're a generation that a lot of things make sense in us in English.
Yes.
Right? And yes, kushunyelwa ngeXhosa, that's good, but I wish also there be a platform for you to say to me in a language that makes sense to people. Imagine, like, if you say something in me in an English word, I definitely know, but kwama kamisXhosa that I don't know. And sometimes just the word changes the entire context of a scripture, and I'm unable to relate because it's strictly Xhosa. So now, me being outside of there, now there's YouTube and I'm listening to TD Jakes, to Sarah Jacob Banks, and that. I take my Bible and they break down a word, and it changes my whole understanding of the scripture and who I am in God and who I am in the kingdom. And so that's the other thing. If you're just feeling like the church, the structure is overwhelming, step back. It is good to fellowship. I am praying about finding a good church, a church that will allow me to be me and also learn and experience God, right? Yes. And I think I wasn't finding that in my church. Yes. And I don't want to take away from the fact that my church really built a lot of my foundation. I'm built on that, and it's good. It's just couldn't sustain me, And now me just TikTok, there's a very powerful sermons there. So now that's one thing that I religiously do, and it feeds me and fuels me. And honestly, for me to even show up in any other area of my life, if my spiritual life is well nourished, yes, I will show up and do amazing things, So it's that, honestly speaking. Yeah, find your source first, and everything else will fall onto you, because you can touch this and this and it doesn't work. And when you are fueled by the source, it also cuts you the whole thing of touching up, not being said. You find one place and you're still, and you're like, this is where I want to flourish. Yes. This is where I want to flourish. Like me, I'm in the academic space. This is where I want to flourish. I don't want to be an accountant. Okay. I don't want to go to the accounting firms. Okay. Like, I'm happy here. Okay. I'm happy here. And yes, it took me the right around and all of that, but I'm happy here. And this is where I want to flourish. And I felt like this is what I want to advocate for. Yes. And it's going there. So yeah, just like find your source. I don't know what your source is. I can't determine what it is for you, but find it, go back to it, like and vuselele, if I may say that, vuselela apho wena uvuselela, and apho wena ufumana amandla akho khona. Awam ndo afumana kuThixo, awakho it's elsewhere. Go there, find amandla akho, so that izinto zakho zonke ezinye zihleleke, because you can't even show up as yourself if you're really not fueled by your source.
I love this. Your platform for your business. Are you open to DMs to guide people? I want to do this, but I know at this point, are you open to
definitely
that?
And there's a lot of people that are doing that already, and appreciate it, and I'll get back to you, like, but I'll definitely get back to you. And that's one thing I really want to start intentionally doing, and maybe this is just a perfect platform to start. Like, if it's school related, like, I'm your person, I will find people. I've got a network of other people. I've specialized in other areas. I will ask if it's anything to do with applications at university. I am happy to help. A consultation, what is this? I want to do that. See, I can manowela in these courses that are not helping us. It's because we don't know better. But like, literally, the way so go. If you're gonna spend all the years there, let it be something that you can turn around after 4 years and be like, now I see, doors, or I see opportunities, or I see a path. So I'm happy. You can definitely use my personal social platforms with that. Siphokazi Mbetha on Facebook, Ndingu_Kazi on Instagram with a double I. Ndingu_Kazi on Instagram, and all my other platform. I'm that. Okay. In X now. And then for my business, also available on Facebook, Ndingukazi Wigs and Wash. Also on Instagram, Ndingukazi Wigs and Wash.
YouTube, because I've been.
I did a podcast, but it was centered around the whole something similar, but Shiro.
Okay.
It operated under Shiro series. I just got lazy to create content. This is a lot of work.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
But it's still there, right?
It's still there.
Because Pumla mentioned, you have something that you were showing your wigs and all that.
Yeah, I have. I'd invite guests and we'd have like really conversations.
So why are you allowing me to say I'm the first podcast that came about after?
But you know what? This is the thing.
Okay.
I didn't stay long.
Oh, okay.
I didn't stay long. So it was a fair comment from the person who Chilo, because then they would, if I had stayed long, they would have known my visibility in that area. I really wasn't visible. It was a lot. When I started doing it, I didn't have the energy for it. Right. But I hope that's, again, one of my other things. Yeah. I hope I'll go back to it. But yeah, I have that and now Shiro series. I think there's like 2 videos or so. If you want to watch, you can definitely go back there. But yeah, that's it on me.
You know, this is the first time where I forget I'm on set and just thoroughly listen to someone.
I talk a lot.
Besides that, but you make sense and you make someone relate. I mean, for me, I thoroughly enjoyed the fact that I was even interjecting. I was like, keep on. Yeah, what else?
Yeah.
Digging.
After talking to you, I'm hoping you sit down and be like, okay, where can I start? You know, where can I start?
Yes.
Where can I start? So that's the whole point.
Ndiphume apha ndimithi ke bethuna. Ndiyambulela Lona for coming through, and please let me know if you want her to come more and share. And nama questions, we are open to imibuzo endifuna ukuyibuza, whether academically or spiritually whatsoever, so that she can come back. Cela ningalibali ku subscribe and like and comment and share bethuna Unscramble Life with Slee. Siyabulela kakhulu for ixesha lenu. I appreciate this, guys. I understand that are out there, but you take your moments and go through my podcast and listen and support and all that. Ndicela ke uThixo anandise lapho ndithatha khona, aphinde futhi ndiyazi uba ngamanye amaxesha kwabanye abantu even data iba yingxaki, kodwa ndibulela ngezandla zobini ndithi inkosi nibusise siphumile thina.